In 3, 2, 1, action. Hi, my name is Laasyasri
And my name is Rushil Shah, and this is a program on environmental awareness.
Yes, okay. Okay, so I'm going to screen share really fast. Jill, would you like to walk through the code?
So if we look at DC and dethink, those essentially are just functions that are made to shorten the code a little bit. Instead of having to write out the phrase print every time, just being able to write out 2 letters for DC or dethink for that, for obviously the dethink function, it makes it a lot simpler. The quit choice function allows the user to quit at whatever point the function is called at. So we call DC in quit choice, which is, in my opinion, kind of interesting. And then we measure for if the user inputs 1 or 2 for the quit value. So then if we scroll down, we'll see that in the while loop, further for the loop, scroll down further.
Okay.
Further. Yeah, there, up a little bit. Up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, while quit equals 0. So then, since we're changing the value of quit in the quit choice function, then if the user selects 1, then quit would turn to 1 and the whole program would stop. And if the user chooses 2, then quit remains 0. So then the whole program restarts at the point print if you would like to learn more, so and so.
Yeah, and then
if we scroll back up. Oh, yeah, as Laasia is pointing out, we have DC over here to indicate what options the user can input in order to select a certain menu to go to. For example, if they want to go to renewable energy and learn more about that, then they could just press 1 when they come to the choice 1 input.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth for the rest of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we scroll back up, then D coins, D right, and D wrong, they essentially just to say that what D coins just says how many coins the user has for the mini game. D right indicates that if they get a question right in the mini game, we'll get to that later. And D wrong says that if a question is wrong in a mini game. So, and then D item, that displays all the items that can be bought in the shop within the mini game. And the def shop command, that basically says how the shop works. For example, if a user decides to buy a solar panel, then they can choose that by pressing 1. And then if choice 2 equals 1, then the 1 coin will be subtracted from the total. The program will display how many coins there are. 5 energy will be added, and the multiplier will increase by 1 as well. And then, yeah, those are the commands. Oh, sorry. There's also the question command. If we scroll down a bit.
Oh, are you talking about this question command?
No, like if we scroll down for the def question function. Sorry, that was my fault. Then we see that number is chosen from 0 through 5 with the type 1, and then we just set an arbitrary value for t answer. And then if the random value that's assigned here will basically correlate to what kind of question is asked. So let's say that it randomly selects the number 1, then it'll go to if type 1 equals 1, then it'll ask the user to calculate out a basic subtraction problem. If the answer is right, we'll go to the D right command. 5 coins will be added and the amount of coins will be displayed. And after all that, then we'll see that the person can enter the shop. And as we see, the coins, energy, and multiplier all can be affected by the shop function. And if we scroll down all the way to the very bottom, the coin's energy and multiplier values are also affected by the question function. So yeah, those are all the functions. And then as for how the menu system works, it relies on a set of if statements. For example, we have choice 1, which dictates if the user wants to go to renewable energy conservation and cleanup efforts, or nuclear energy, or the energy collection game. And then we have many choices within those menus. For example, cons choice 1 can dictate whether the user wants to go to, if the user wants to learn about team trees and team Cs, or the history of conservation within the US. And that's only occurring though when they select that they want to learn about conservation and cleanup efforts. And similar choices apply to the other menus as well. So Lasya, if you would like to explain the actual output.
Sure. Okay. So I will move this over here. And so when we start the program, as Rushil had already explained, it will ask the user to input a number 1 to 4. We could start with let's start with one of the first 3, and then we'll go into the mini game after. So if we input 2, 2 is for the conservation and cleanup efforts. So then it will then proceed to ask us which out of the 2 choices again should be inputted, which one we want to learn about, which one the user wants to learn about. So, and then after that, it'll give us a little explanation over here so that the user can learn about it. And then it will prompt us if we want to quit the program or restart. So if we press, for example, 2 for restart, then it will restart the whole thing and it goes back to this main screen. So, Rushil, do you have any comments to add to that?
Not really. You explained it perfectly. I think, do you want to move on to the energy collection game?
Yeah, so for the energy collection game, we have a little explanation of how the game goes. It's essentially how Rushil had described it. It will give you math questions, and the more you get right, the more coins you end up getting, and then you can go to the shop. That's when it refers to the shop function, which Rushil explained. And you can buy certain energy sources to get more coins and level up. And it also teaches the user more about the environment, because for certain energy options, it can be harmful to our score. So for example, if we, right here in the shop function right here, if we were to, for example, choose number 5 for a nuclear power plant, over here, it says that number 5 will actually multiply it by 0.9. So that is less than, for example, how much the solar panels or the geothermal plant or the wind turbine even would give it. So depending on what type of energy source we use, it also affects the amount of points the user can accumulate. So let's play. So are you ready? Yes, we're ready. If you'd like to learn more, choose one of the following options. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. So
maybe don't put a space.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Are you ready? Yes. What is 9 plus 9 is 18. So then it adds more points. And then it asks us if we would like to go to the shop. Let's say no for now. What is 9 plus 1? 9 times 1. And no. Okay, so if we decide to end up going to the shop, then it prompts us with the same print the same options over here, and it gives us the total number of points we have and the price for each of the energy sources. So if we say, for example, I would like a solar panel, which seems like the only thing I can afford right now, then it will give us a solar panel, and that adds to our score, essentially. Yes. Is there anything you would like to add, Rushil?
Not really. You explained it quite well. The only thing I might want to add is that the way that this can sort of impact environmental awareness is that if somebody were to run this program, then they can learn about all sorts of information regarding the environment. So then obviously with that information, they can help support the efforts a lot more. For example, by learning about team trees or team Cs, they may want to contribute to both of those efforts. So then that can help raise awareness by quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so that concludes the presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you liked it. Bye.
Yep. Bye.